Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
After the sack on first down, Wilson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. CD, as the Rams come back out here, you know, we've got a few Jekyll and Hyde teams in the NFL this season. Cowboys come to mind, the Bears, Buccaneers, but maybe none more than these L.A. Rams. One in Arizona, their 5th straight over the Cards, moves them to 7-5 on the year. But just look at the last 2 games. Thoroughly dominated by the Ravens at home, then thoroughly dominate the Cardinals on the road. What gives with this team?
I don't know, and we'd all love to have that answer in hand because we figured this was a team that would compete for the Super Bowl again. Offensively, they've struggled. Offensive line has been a little bit in flux. Todd Gurley hasn't been the runner we've seen over the last few seasons, so that has hurt them in a big way. Defensively, you mentioned getting dominated by Baltimore. They ran the heck out of the ball against them, and that's not something you see against an Aaron Donald front. But, boy, that looked like the Rams we expected against Arizona. And hello, Jared Goff, and welcome back. 32 of 43, 424 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's the quarterback the Rams expected to have all season long.
And right now, they're on the outside looking in for a playoff spot. Kind of a tough schedule to finish. Seattle, Dallas, San Fran, Arizona. 2 on the road and 2 at home. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Goff. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Let's go.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the move away and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 38, Wilson underneath to his tight end, Wilson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Goff now looks to throw. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A run with Gurley there on first down, going to get about 4 yards. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
From just shy of midfield, Goff. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. You know, you wonder how the Rams' game plan in Super Bowl 53 might have been different with a healthy Cooper Kupp. He was injured on November 11th, torn ACL, out for the year. But he was on his way to a 1,000-yard season in his second NFL campaign. Had 566 yards in 8 games before the injury. Connection made here, Goff to Higbee. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Now Gurley. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd down, it's Brown. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Goff. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Rams have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd and short.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Wilson. Out to the right. He gets it to Lockett. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Come on, fellas.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do...
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Right there.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Goff, a quick throw complete to Cooks. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Returnable for Lockett. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Samson Abukum. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Here's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. That's caught by Hollister. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 6 there on first.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. To throw again is Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Carson. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, let's go. Tighten down. There you go. Under 10.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
380. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, G.
From the 44, Wilson. And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing is Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Wilson to throw again. And that is incomplete here. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And this one is right down the middle. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it's 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. They got him in. It's Woods. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They'll try and chew some clock with Gurley. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
You got nothing.
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Goff. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. So Wilson and the Seahawks down 7-6, just over 1:40 to play. A field goal would be a game winner as they come up on 1st down. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Go ahead, take a seat. You can't stop me.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to keep it here. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here we go, D. Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end.
They'll look to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. First things first here, they got to pick up the 1st down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, that would have been something if he could have saved him from that long distance there in the closing seconds, but it was just not meant to be.
They needed a little more time and a little more yardage to give him a realistic shot. And that kick's a good metaphor for this game, isn't it? They're going to wind up a little short in the end.
So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Mike 50. We own them. We own them.
Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams are victorious here as we say so long from Exposition Park in L.A.